diğer bölgelerinde oturan Türk toplumunun da Brunswick ve Coburg bölgesine gelmesine büyük imkan sağladı. Erkekler ağır sanayide çalışma durumuna gitmiştik. Daha fazla para kazanmak için. Bu bölgede çok tekstil fabrikaları vardı. Eşlerimizde birçoğu tekstil ve yiyecek atölyelerinde, fabrikalarında çalışması için bu bölge bizim tercihimiz olmuştu. Moorland'a geldiğimizde en sevdiğimiz yer Cemal Dayı'nın kahvesi diye bir yer vardı. O kahvenin içerisinde çorba, berber, her şey mevcuttu. O zaman City'ye gittiğiniz zaman saat 5'te, 6'da her taraf kapalı oluyordu. Biz yine bölgemize geldiğimizde Moorland bölgesine işte Türk kahveleri açık oluyordu geç vakit kadar. Orada da arkadaşlarımızla oturup sohbet ederdik, muhabbet ederdik. Biz ilk geldiğimiz zamanlarda bölgede sosyal, kültürel ağırlıklarımızı yönlendirmek için de 1985 yılında Moorland Türk Derneği olarak bir derneğimiz oluştu. Bu dernek ilk başladığında spor aktiviteleri, daha sonraki dönemlerde de kültür değerlerimizin Avustralya toplumlarıyla, Avustralya kültürleriyle daha iç içe yaşamamız için entegre olma yönüne büyük gayret gösterdik. Ve burada da biz dernek olarak başarılı olduğumuzu düşünüyorum. Moorland bölgesine geldiğim için de kendimi çok şanslı hissediyorum. Çünkü çok kültürlülüğü yaşamış oldum bu bölgede. Gayet güzel bir şekilde benim birçok dostlarım, Avustralyalı dostlarımın olduğu gibi göçmen dostlarım var. İtalyanlardan, Yunan göçmenlerinden, Arap göçmenlerinden birçok dostlarımla beraber burada mutluluk içerisinde hep ilişkilerimizi devam ediyoruz.
Victoria's population is growing, and Moorland is growing too. It's estimated that the Melbourne area will grow from 5 to 8 million people in the next few decades. They need to live somewhere. Some will choose to live here in Moorland. It's a great place to live. Moorland Council knows the challenges and opportunities that this increase in population brings. With 43,000 more people living here by 2036, there are important things to consider, plan for and act on. Things like housing, transport, our open spaces and managing the impacts of construction activity. 43,000 new people, or around 18,000 new households, means taller buildings or more buildings on existing blocks. This is not what many of us are used to, but lifestyles are changing and we need to adapt. We want to encourage these taller buildings to be located near public transport routes and where daily needs like shopping and community services are just a walk away. This way, more people won't mean lots more traffic and congestion. More flexible use of our industrial land can help too. Some land can change to accommodate new work and local jobs, and some can provide housing for more people. We are also looking at ways that some housing can remain more affordable. Council is actively buying property to improve and purchase new parks and open spaces for all residents to enjoy. This is about thoughtful planning for a great future for everyone. The things we love, the vibrant and thriving shopping areas, our great heritage areas will still be here. But changes need to happen. We want to make sure that any development is of high quality and improves livability. So we're making decisions based on research, data, world's best practice and consultation with the community. Together, we can continue to make Moorland a great place to live for our long-term residents, our new arrivals and for those who'd like to live here in the future. Moorland, one community, proudly diverse.
Moorlanders, we know you've had enough of dump rubbish. It's messy, disruptive, unsafe and it's illegal. Yes, dumping rubbish is illegal. Last year it cost Moorland more than $1 million to pick up illegally dumped rubbish. We're using up your money and our resources every time we pick up this garbage. It's the duty of every good citizen of Moorland to report rubbish dumpers. Let us know if you see anything suspicious. Send us a photo, a registration number, or a physical description of the villain. Every small piece of information can contribute to bringing justice to our city. And as for the dumpers, know this. With the help of our community, we will find you and we will prosecute you.
So the Eco House was a normal suburban house. It was going to be demolished, but instead we moved it to Ceres, and now people can visit and find out how to make their lives more sustainably. So recently we renovated the Eco House to be fully electrical. By being entirely electrical, we can power our whole house with solar power and other forms of renewable power. We've installed...
My name is Councillor Natalie Aboud and I'm the Mayor of Moreland City Council and the Chairperson of tonight's Council meeting. It is my pleasure to welcome you to tonight's meeting. Our meeting is being held on the traditional country of the Wurundjeri people and I wish to acknowledge them as the traditional owners. I would also like to pay my respects to their elders past, present and emerging and the elders from other communities who may be here with us today. I acknowledge that currently many Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people call Moreland home. I also acknowledge the Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people never ceded sovereignty of their lands and have continuously cared for their country for over 60,000 years as the world's oldest living culture. Members of the gallery, please note that this council meeting is being recorded and web streamed live to council's website and Facebook. This recording will also be available as video on demand. Gallery attendees are advised that they will be recorded during the meeting. Councillors, a reminder that in line with the adopted councillor conduct principles as outlined in the Councillor Code of Conduct, councillors should ensure that they conduct themselves in the meeting with integrity, impartially exercise their responsibilities in the interest of the local community and not improperly seek to confer or advantage any person. This behaviour will support principles for leadership and good governance that secures public confidence in the office of councillor. Members of the gallery, in the event of an emergency or disruption, we may be required to take action to ensure the safety of attendees. Please follow the directions issued by council staff and security officers. Thank you for your understanding and cooperation. I would like to introduce the other councillors in attendance tonight. Councillor Helen Davidson. Good evening. Councillor Jessica Dorney. Good evening. Councillor John Kavanagh.
Good evening.
Councillor Dale Martin.
Hi.
Councillor Lambros Tapanos.
Good evening.
And Councillor Oscar Yildiz. Thank you. The officers in attendance are, to my left, the Chief Executive Officer, Dr. Nerina De Lorenzo, the Director of Community Development, Arden Joseph, Director of City Infrastructure, Grant Thorne, the Acting Director of City Futures, Phil Priest, Director of Business Transformation, Sue Vucevic, Director of Engagements and Partnerships, Joseph Tobacco, and the Executive Manager of Finance, Liz Rowland. Councillors, we have, are there any apologies from fellow councillors for tonight's meeting?
Yes, Councillor Sue Bolton has sent an apology. I'm not sure about, and I know there's two councillors that have leave of absence.
Yep, so we have received an apology from Councillor Bolton and I have a leave of absence which has been granted to Councillor Carly Hannon and which is from the 11th of April 2019 to the 12th of August 2019 and a leave of absence granted to Councillor Riley from the 14th of April 2019 to the 27th of April 2019.
Do I move the apology for Councillor Bolton, please?
Yep. And Councillor Davidson to second. So I'll put the apology to the vote. All those in favour? Against? Declare that carried. Are there any other further requests for a leave of absence?
No, but I've got an apology from Ali running late.
Yeah. Thank you. So we'll...
Yeah, I'll move that.
Yep.
I'm happy to second that if he's notified.
Okay, so Councillor Yildiz and Councillor Kavanagh, we'll put that to the vote. All those in favour? Against? Declare that carried. Okay, that's everyone covered. So, a disclosure of interest and or conflict of interest. Councillors, are there any interests or conflicts of interest to declare? No? So, I'll now move to the presentation of the officer report. The report that we have to consider this evening is EMF 1219, the proposed Moreland City Council budget 2019-2020 Councillor Kavanagh.
Could I move the officer recommendation on page 5? Move other seconder, I'll speak to it.
Councillor Martin to second.
Okay. Thank you, Councillor Martin. Look, I was going to say in 1988, Paul Keating, this brings home the bacon, but in this vegan type world, I better not use that terminology now, so it brings home the fruit and vegetables. And look, this is you look at it, you see there's $27.5 million to begin, part of that is to begin the Wheatsheaf Hub project, not the entire 27.5 million yet. You see the 5,000 trees. You see the refreshing of playgrounds, the renovation of the City Oval, Fleming Park, just to name a few. You know, and you see the overall capital works program of $46.3 million. At the risk of sounding like a real old timer, when I first got onto council, our capital works budget was just under $5 million, and now it's gone to $46.3 million proposed in this year's budget. Of course, so this is a proposed budget. It's not the endorsed budget yet. It's a proposed budget, and it's going out to public consultation. I can see the public interest here tonight, and that's indicative, I'm sure, of the interest we're going to receive. One stage I thought it was the AGM for the John Kavanagh fan club, but no, it's not. Anyway, so that will go out to consultation until the 23rd of May 2019, 5 p.m. on the 23rd of May 2019. So we do, well, I think last year was really the most successful year we've had in submissions. And from my point of view, this is just my view, it was good to receive submissions from people that we hadn't received submissions from before, and people who began to engage in the budget. And because, of course, it's council that endorses the budget, but it's your budget, it's the community's budget. And so we do want as much as possible, as many submissions as possible. There's a couple of things that, I'm hoping people will submit in and we can look at. But I'll leave that for the endorsing of the budget. So you have until the 23rd of May at 5 p.m. to submit, and then on the 3rd of June, Council will meet to hear those submissions for those that would like to be heard, and then the grand final, if you like, is on the 24th of June 2019 when we endorse the budget. So I encourage people to submit. I think the amount of work, the amount of projects, the variation in the projects, the variety is outstanding, and I just think that it is a really great document for residents to download and have a read of, to see the vast array of things that council actually does.
Thank you, Councillor Kavanagh. Councillor Martin as a seconder, would you like to speak?
I'm okay, thank you.
I'd just like to draw attention to the fact that this is a very successful budget, and that is how we're able to be so lighthearted about it. But it also means that we're in a position to put away, as highlighted in point 4, $4 million will be transferred to a significant projects reserve. So I just wanted to draw attention to the fact that while we are, covering what needs to be covered, we're also preparing for some really big projects that we foresee on the horizon, including the Wheatsheaf Hub and the Fleming Park and Saxon Street projects. And I think that this is part of the real reason why, how we're able to be a little bit lighthearted about this, because we're in a very good position here at Moreland, and we're ticking all the boxes, and I think it's a tribute to the people who are involved in that work here at Council. So I'm quite excited about this draft going out, and I encourage everyone to have a look at it. Are there any councillors that would like to speak against or in favour of this motion? So I'll put that to the vote. All those in favour? Against? I declare that carried. Councillors, as this is the one and only item on tonight's meeting, I'd like to declare the council meeting closed, and thank you all for attending, and also to our viewers at home and Greg out there in the gallery. Thank you very much.
Easter egg catch.